The second thing I want to talk about is I see people sending videos, bringing articles, making write-ups of Isuama-Igbo. Okay, there is something called Isuama-Igbo. They called it the first Igbo manuscript, the first Igbo manuscript, the first manuscript that was written. Okay, now I want to correct something. Isuama-Igbo is the official language of Igbo slaves in Syria alone. Isuama-Igbo is the dialect spoken by Igbo slaves in Syria alone. That is the language they spoke. That is their dialect. Isuama-Igbo. Now, the first manuscript, Isuama-Igbo, was written by an Igbo slave. His name is Samuel Jonas. He was the person that wrote the first Igbo. Well, it's not actually the first Igbo manuscript because Isuama was the first to write. So Isuama-Igbo is actually the second. Okay, but even if you have to leave the case of Oledo, as if you have to put it aside, Isuama-Igbo was written by Samuel Jonas, an Igbo slave from Syria alone. He was the one who wrote Isuama-Igbo. And it was premiered in 1857. I don't really understand the reason why people are giving credit to Ajayi Crowther for what he didn't do. I don't get it. Make it make sense. That a Yoruba man wrote the first Igbo manuscript. How? Somebody who cannot effectively write his own account. Even the credit that is given to Ajayi Crowther for writing the first Yoruba or translating the first Yoruba Bible from English to Yoruba, it's false, it's a lie. Because Samuel Ajayi Crowther was taken at the age of 12. He was born in 1809. He was taken at the age of 12 to the New World. You know what it is? When a child leaves his environment or his native home and all that, he gets to the New World, where he's being taught the language of the people. You're either taught English, Spanish, Dutch, Portuguese, or whatever, or Latin or Greek or so, depending on the people who bought you or the people who took you. That was the case of Ajayi Crowther. So he was just 12 years. He left his home. He left his environment. So you cannot tell me that a little child of 12 years can effectively speak, effectively write, and translate. Because when it comes to translation, it is a different work altogether. It is a work for professionals, those who are really built into that language. Okay, it's for professionals. It's just like in this writing industry. You talk about after you, as a playwright, after writing, you push it down to the editor. Okay, the editor does the final work. That is what translation means. You have to be well equipped. You have to be well soaked into what you're going into. It is not everybody that can do translation. You get it? It's for professionals. So you cannot tell me that a boy of 12 years was effectively able to translate the Bible from English to native Yoruba language. That is false. That is a lie. So what he did was that he gathered people and let them do the work, and he took credit for it. That was how it happened. And that was also how it happened in the case of the Igbo Bible. I'm coming to talk about it. Now, Samuel Ajayi Crowther returned West Africa or Nigeria in 1846. Okay, that is to say he stayed about 25 years out there. A boy that left at the age of 12 stayed about 25 years out there. No contact. You're not in your native environment that you say, okay, fine, I was communicating with Yoruba over there. We know that when it comes to slavery, the only book you're allowed to read is the Bible and all that. You get to read the people's language, Dutch, English, and all that. So all those things. So there is no way you can keep contact or continuity with your native environment or your native language. That was how it is. So you can have somebody coming from Igbo, staying in the same environment with an Ashanti person. Okay, and so you find out that their language their communication will be more of sign languages until they now start adapting to their current environment and the current language they will be introduced to. That was how it is. So there is no way you can tell me that a child of 12 left and came back and translated their native, the Bible to their native dialect. That is one of the greatest lies that has been told in history. So it's a lie. That is another one. I'm coming.